What's up, guys? Welcome to Off the Court with
Joni
and Derick. So we'll be your host here, and we're going to go through a few things that we've pretty much experienced as coaches. So the whole thing about this is, getting to know us as coaches and talk about what we've, been through and what we're going through as well. So pretty much, but.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of other coaches go through the same thing we do.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, I feel like we've created this to kind of be a positive support.
Right.
Because it feels like we're not allowed to talk about this. And
it's like we're walking on eggshells.
Pretty much. But it's good to be able to make that connection with everybody.
Right.
Especially the other coaches that are in the area, or, we coach at a small reservation school, almost, I guess, near the reservation. Right. And I think a lot of the reservation schools can relate to some of the things that we face and some of the things that we have to modify. Right. Because of lack of gym, lack of weight room, training facilities. And then also like the big triumphs, because like sometimes when we're a small school and we're able to make those big leaps into a program and making those big changes, it's really great to celebrate.
Right, it is. It's huge. Huge.
Oh my gosh. But this all came as an idea. It started as a joke because right. We always watch, what's the podcast you always watch?
You Should Know. You Should Know.
So Derick always watches You Should Know, and then he got me into it, and then we were like one day just like, hey, what if we started a podcast? What would we talk about? And we started making jokes and stuff.
So... And eventually, here we are. But, we're going to kind of work around a lot of the things. Mainly, we're going to try to keep it towards, like, our small schools coaching and, what we go through on a daily basis. So, and like Joni said, I don't think we've ever seen a lot of, small schools talking about, what they go through, or any coaches what they go through. Mm-hmm. It's usually silent, so.
Yeah. But we're on Instagram. Right. This is where our main platform is going to be, is right. Instagram. And as you know, Derick and I have Underrated Athletics. We have Body Fit by Derick. We have Laced by Jo, which is reselling sneakers. What else do we have? War Party Supplements.
Oh, yeah.
So everything that we are adventuring to is all athletic based. And that's just who we are. Like, that's just who we are as people, who we are as a family. And that's where we come from, because our family, they're all athletes.
Right.
And so we're going to start by getting into our own background, where it all started for each of us, and how that eventually interested us into becoming the coaches for the high school. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
Here we go. So my name is Derick, and I've pretty much been an athlete all my life growing up. So it's been, we have our ups and downs, like being in a rural area. I grew up on a reservation, a little town called Airness. Shout out.
And Utah.
Well, there we had limited resources. We always had little posters on the store as you walk by, or like on a light pole, or just pretty much word of mouth too. And, a lot of the times it'll be like, a lot of it would be basketball based. But for me growing up, I've learned how to play baseball. So I'm experiencing 1 year of baseball, little league, that is. Mm-hmm. And it was really fun. But played with a lot of the older kids. So that's kind of like how I grew up too. Mm-hmm. I have to put it towards, my father for, of course, coaching, the dad coach, as we are coaches to our kids as well. Mm. But it's, it was fun growing up, and learning a lot of different sports. A lot of it, again, played a lot of basketball. My father was, pretty good at basketball, but I would just say great, but I'm the greatest now. So. But the old man, got me into playing sports. He pretty much said, "Hey, if you want to play a sport, we'll support you." So that was pretty much where it came into. I do remember late nights, little basketball rim, maybe no bigger than I think 12, 13 inches rim size, and my uncles and my father, everybody would all get together and play there. Little street light in the backyard, come on. So we used that, and that's where I learned how to play. And then after that, found out that I was getting pretty good, and started picking up the sport a little bit more.
Natural athlete.
Yeah, so I kind of picked it up naturally, and I did work hard though. I worked for it too as well. Yeah, so played third grade year, transferred to another school, came back my sixth grade year, played basketball, and then sixth grade year I didn't play just because I was in the middle of a transfer. I didn't enter the portal. So.
The portal.
Yeah, so that kind of, triggered everything going into my seventh grade year. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to play basketball. And that's pretty much where it took off. Seventh grade, I didn't know, the town we're at, Blanding, Monument Valley, existed. I didn't even know there was schools there. I never left Aneth area at all. Probably the only place I really went was Cortez and Farmington. So those were the only places I went. Those were big towns, but I didn't even know that these places exist. It was so funny. But, after that, we started traveling to different high schools in the state of Utah, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it was totally shocker because I'm like, I've never been off the reservation, but I've been Cortez and Farmington. That's me being off the reservation. So,
okay?
Fast forward freshman year, going into my senior year, I've I tried to play all the sports, and then it was pretty awesome because,
So you did basketball?
Yeah, I did basketball. I did football, basketball. I ran track, and then I played golf. So I was on the golf team. High school golf team. So it was pretty awesome. And that I had fun. I think it was my senior year, so it was like I'm just gonna join that. But there was a lot of other things that I did in school. I'm gonna kill this fly. But played all the sports, had fun with it, but I think basketball is probably where it's at.
I just smack it.
But I think basketball is where it's at, especially on the reservations where basketball is big, and all or nothing.
All or nothing.
Yeah, I think is what it was called.
Yeah,
pretty awesome
Netflix
movie,
series.
Yeah, the series, but it's pretty much where it started from. Just hanging out with friends, playing basketball, and I could.
And then what happened after high school?
I took a year off just because my mother was diagnosed with lupus, so kind of got sidelined for a whole year. I went back to school the following year, and then didn't do so well with people there. So I ended up transferring out all the way into Maryland, which was pretty crazy. All the way across the country. I walked on there, and
where at?
Oh, it's called Rockville, Maryland. Right now, it's called Montgomery College, and I think it's back then when I played or when I was there, it was called We Were the Knights.
Yeah.
Now it's I think it's called the Raptors.
Oh.
So,
but it's still
Montgomery College. So they had 3 different locations, 3 basketball teams for each location for the same school.
Wow.
So, but it was great. It was an awesome experience.
And you did a walk-on, so that meant you were
I showed up. It's like just a little 5'9" person going into the college. I'm like, hey, can I try out? They're just like, yeah, go for it. So I'm like, all right, cool. Show up here on Monday. Okay. So it kind of took me by surprise, but we've been playing a little bit of like street ball, but we would go to the rec center, me and my cousin out there. We would play basketball, and I met one of the guys that was actually part of the team, and he's like, hey, you should try out. So I was like, yeah, sure.
Oh, that's where you got the...
Kind of like the idea.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my sister was there, too, and she ended up playing on the summer league team, and that was pretty awesome. So she got accepted to play there, and then I kind of just followed. At the same time, everything was kind of like happening. So that was pretty fun. And, you know, my first experience there was these guys can jump.
Oh my gosh.
These guys were fast, they were quick, and it was tough, to be honest, to keep up. But then again, I just thought about everything like saying, okay, I'm here for a reason. I've made it this far. You know, they see potential in me. But I tell you what, though, I pretty much shot the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I probably shot, I don't know, like maybe over 6,000 balls, and it was crazy. So, but the workouts were very intense. We had 2 days. It was either the weight room and then get into actual practice, which was from like 3 to 7, I believe, and then from there, classes. Hurry up and get something to eat, and then you're home, and do it all over again. So,
yeah.
I think that was pretty much the hardest transition on that. But you know, it was fun.
Yeah.
While it lasts.
While it lasted. And you did that for how long?
A couple of years.
Yeah,
a couple of years. And you know, the transition of playing regular high school basketball to playing at a college level was intense.
Very different.
Yeah, it was very different. The coaches wanted you to know where you were at on the court, what set plays they ran, and yeah, it was crazy. We did a lot of what is it called? Elevator screens. We ran the pistol offense, and there was another one. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was just different types of plays.
But they held you guys accountable for doing your own work, right? Like they weren't on you, like you need to be here at this time and doing this. It was more of like,
hey, practice starts at 3, but if you need to get in the weight room, it's open at 2. So I kind of like, oh man, I got to get in there. I know I ain't fast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where it all started, is, you know, being physically active. And those boys are strong. When you get into the next level, they don't care who you are. They're just going to run all over you. They're going to try to get under your skin and, you know, just get you like that. But it was good. It was a good experience.
That's awesome.
That's scary.
I love that we were able to use that experience and try to implement that into the program that we're trying to create. Only because it's hard to hold the high schoolers accountable and tell them you need to do this or else. Yeah. Because high school isn't at that level. It's not. I mean, maybe if you're going to like maybe a 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A school, you know, a lot of these bigger schools have so many different programs and resources, but it's like we're sharing the weight room with how many different programs?
I would say
like 4, right? And it's a small, tiny weight room.
Well, the weight room is actually the wrestling room. So, and then once that wrestling room becomes active during basketball season, the weight room goes from like 100% to like 10% weight room. So
yeah,
it's crazy. So,
but I think also the motivation, like you're saying, you know, people are going there and their mindset is, I want to play, I want playing time, I want to be on the team, and they're doing everything that they can to make that happen.
Right.
You know, so awesome. I love that experience that we're able to share that too.
Yeah, it's if you guys ever, you know, whoever our future listeners or who are listeners right now, if you guys are wanting to get to that next level or have been, reach out to us. We'll kind of give you guys what our insights is and are, and let you have it. So.
Or just at least share your knowledge.
Yeah, because, share your knowledge to the younger generation.
That would be great.
Be the best.
I think mentoring high schoolers who are looking to go and play at another level, it feels like we don't have enough of that. We see it all on social media. We see people posting that they're playing college basketball, but I don't see a lot of those kids mentoring and reaching back out to.
I would say it's probably a small percentage.
And maybe I don't see it. Like, I'm not saying I'm like the most popular person. I bet like a lot. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, if you are at that level, it'd be nice to at least go back and talk to who is mentoring,
right,
or who is wanting to go to that next level.
Back, Joni's turn.
So I am typical small town athlete. Started out playing, I think I was in
every
t-ball,
sport in the book.
Like young, because we had softball, and then I did junior jazz, and I stayed in those until I got into middle school. Right. And then I joined middle school sports. And here, middle school, you don't play sixth grade. Like, there's no sports offered in sixth grade. But then you go 7th and 8th grade, volleyball and basketball. And then with high school is a little tricky because I moved and transferred to a lot of places. So I played volleyball at Navajo Prep. I did not, that really didn't work well for me being there. And there was a lot of factors that made me decide that it's not a good idea for me to be there. So I transferred and ended up finishing the school year out in Pinyon because my aunt and uncle were my aunt and uncle are teachers out there, and my brothers were going to school out there. So I finished my freshman year at Pinyon, and that's where like I felt like the basketball program was solid because they had so many opportunities for the girls. They did summer programs. We were traveling to like U of A, ASU, all of these places to play in these team camps, which were just great opportunities for us. But I didn't go back because I'm the youngest of 5 siblings, so I am a mama's and daddy's girl. I didn't want to be away from them. So when I transferred back, I transferred to here to San Juan. And so I tried out for volleyball, but because I got in trouble in Pinyon, at Pinyon, I couldn't play volleyball. And so I focused on school. And then I ended up transferring because my mom got a job out in Bakersfield, California. So I moved to Bakersfield and played basketball out there. And that was a whole nother experience. Yeah. I'm like thinking...
I was ready to say that.
It's like thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in California.
You think about the surfers, the long hair.
This is where, like, basketball, we should be good. Right. I should be coming into a whole different program, and we should be, But it really wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be. I think I kind of hyped it up more than it actually was. And I bumped heads a lot with the coach.
Troublemaker.
And at one point, I think he got so mad at me to where he made me run practice.
Jeez.
So that's kind of where I'm not saying that I argued and, gave them a lot of crap. I think I was just too competitive for myself, and I knew that we could have been better. Anyway, sorry. So that was a good experience because, of course, I met a lot of awesome friends, and I always tell Derick this, like, going to school here, I couldn't get along with any of the cheerleaders. And not, it was, if you know, you know. But then going out and living in Bakersfield, that's all I hung out with were cheerleaders. Because they were so outgoing, awesome, positive, cool. Like, they were cool with everyone, and they just had like a positive personality, which was awesome.
So, when we went out there, so
you met some of my...
and I've met some of them, and they were pretty cool. Like, I'm like, hey, when are we gonna go back? Where are we gonna go back? But we haven't, so
but yeah, I mean, I am still friends with a lot of them out there, and it's awesome to just see them grow up and kind of be the social media friend that you get to see them have kids and grow up and all that. And then my mom, we ended up moving back just due to some family problems, or family issues. I shouldn't say problems, but some issues. And I transferred back here to end my sophomore year here. And then I just played the rest of my high school basketball here.
Mm-hmm.
I played volleyball my junior year, and then I got cut my senior year. But that's a whole other thing. We won't get into that. But basketball here, I feel like it was, really good. I mean, junior year, we got up to third place at state
which is
for
awesome.
2A. And then senior year, we lost our region playing game. So that was because we had 4 returning starters, and that should have been our year.
But then again, with all that, it's like, it's hard to say, because you build friendships, and then summertime goes away, and then the chemistry's a little gone.
Yeah.
So I think that's what a lot of programs, not a lot, but some of the smaller school programs are, that have a problem with. And
this is what we always talk about, is when we were in high school, there were no AAU tournaments. There were no 15 and under, 16 and under, JV high school tournaments. I don't even remember them having any of those.
No.
But we always played in men's and women's basketball tournaments, and I think that's what made me a lot better, is having those mentors like Mariah and Ann and Bunny, and being able to play with all of players. Exactly. And I think that's what made it. That's just what made me better.
Right.
Was to be able to play with them. But after high school, I was supposed to play at Adams State in Colorado, but I ended up tearing my ACL. So I had to have ACL replacement surgery, and then, after that, it was just very different.
Right. And that's something that would be very hard to come back from, was the ACL. And when we first met, so that's pretty much like where I saw firsthand that coming back from an ACL injury is tough.
But you went through the same thing in high school.
I did.
Right?
It was a torn MCL, just a slight tear in the MCL, and the doctors were just like, just let it rip completely, because you can't repair it now, and then we'll repair it once it's completely ripped. So I'm like, okay. So I got a little click still going on in the knee, but
little click.
Yeah, like a little glow stick click.
How old are we? That's when you're old.
Right.
You start talking about like, my knee just cracked.
Right.
But so after having ACL surgery, I think it was more of the recovery that was tough.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like after having that surgery, and then like having met you and you introducing me to the weight room and starting to lift weights and all of that, I felt like it built my body to become stronger. And when I started playing after that, after the recovery and weightlifting, we started playing in basketball tournaments. I felt like I was at the peak of
right.
basketball, because it was like I was stronger. I was able to play the post a lot better, and it was awesome to have that feeling, to be able to play that way.
Yeah. So think about it. That's kind of why I stress, hey, we got to get stronger. We got to get stronger. You can play all the sports you want, but if you want to become better, you have to change something. Mm-hmm. So either get stronger, get bigger, so you can do the pushing, not be pushed around. It's pretty much how I would say it.
Yeah.
So,
but awesome. that does go back to show, like, we have experience, yeah. And we know through our own experiences what is going to work and what isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure all of you feel the same way. You guys have all experienced what has worked and what hasn't worked, and that's what we're trying to convey to our team, to the players, right. And that's kind of where part of the motivation comes from.
Right. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it is. So good story, good catch up. So reminiscing on the younger years.
I know.
Once we were young. So anywho, we're gonna get on to our next question. Why are we coaches? We can kind of like expand into that. What are our intentions? So
I think so this is how it started. And it wasn't like something that I decided for it. It was a spur of the moment decision, because I got a text one day. I still don't know, and I'm sorry and I apologize, but I still don't know who sent me that text message that said, Whitehorse needs a volleyball coach.
Oh.
You should go apply. And I'm sorry, like, I don't have your number. I didn't have your number saved, or I just got the text, and that's where it started. Right. And so when we went into for interviews, my intention was just to coach volleyball.
Right.
And then they asked me, "Oh, are you only interviewing for volleyball, or do you want to interview for girls basketball, because we do need a girls basketball right. coach?" And I was like, "I'll interview for both." So I ended up interviewing for both.
So at the same time that was going on, I interviewed with junior high football, and it was awesome. And then I also interviewed for the high school girls basketball team coach, so it was pretty funny. Go back a little story here. So we both got the interview, and we both got a call back within, I don't know, 30 minutes.
It was like 10
15 minutes. So I do remember one of the questions, and it kind of like involved like, how are you able to teach the girls in what way, kind of like to deal with life and use it to go in. It's like a metaphor. I can't remember.
Building life skills or something.
No,
like
it was
that.
something they used something else. So
okay.
It wasn't life skills or anything like that. It's like saying, okay, if you're teaching basketball, how would this teach them outside basketball? Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand the question or that little phrase, and I kind of blew it. So, but then I was like thinking, like, you're such an idiot. So I pretty much blew that last question, and I kind of thought about it after a while. I'm like, bro, I don't know how you missed that, but it was at the moment. I'm like, damn. And then like she said, 10 minutes later, we both like, hey, guess what? And I was like, I didn't get the girls basketball, but I got junior high football, but I didn't get the girls high school basketball. And she turns towards me with a little grin. I'm like, and that's when I knew. I was like, you were the other candidate. It was so funny.
I don't know if I was the only candidate. No. We were. I don't think we were the only candidates for that. But
I think there was several other people. But then, as soon as I saw that grin, I was like, yeah, you got the job. I thought moment. I was like,
I know. I'm sorry.
It sucked, but and again, it's actually a good fit. So
well, not only that, but I don't see it as me only being the head coach after 4 years now. Right. I think we just work well with both playing that role.
Yeah.
Only because it's funny, and people who are married and have been married for quite some time, yeah. Like you kind of get on the same brainwave. And right. We always say that to the girls, like we would start talking and then we'd look at each other and then we'd instantly know what we're talking about. So we're able to kind of communicate that way. And then sometimes we'll make the joke, like we'll look at each other and Derick starts saying something wrong and I'm like, no, read my mind.
Okay. I mean, I'm just a baby. But let's get a little sidetracked. Let's get back to the question. So we'll probably cut some of this in and out. But why are we coaches?
I feel like I've always loved working with kids. Mm. And
that you do.
Being our time living in Page kind of set me up for that, to be able to work with adolescents and young adults, and what better way to combine that and the sport I love.
Yeah.
And just being able to mentor and help these kids, learn to get through these challenging times in high school through basketball.
Right.
And that's basically what I did, being a young lady playing sports and also going through like maturity and high school, and social media really wasn't big back then, right, but like going through like the social groups, it seemed like it was a lot, but I know that I did the best that I could. I mean, and I just feel like it would really be beneficial to help the same young ladies process that in high school right now.
Right.
Only because now we have social media.
Right.
And now it's a little more difficult.
And then on top of that, you have, like you said, you grew up, or when we were in Page, you worked with a lot of the kids, but that's not the only thing that really, interests you in that is, when we were living here in Blanding before we made the move there, you were in school, you were finishing up with your education.
Yeah. So I tried to go into teaching, become a teacher. That really didn't work out because I took so much time off, and I lost a few people that really impacted all of that. So I changed, like finally I was just like, I'm going to take this time off. And I think that's really what reset me.
Yeah. So,
and then I went in, and then I went into middle school coaching. That one season, I went and helped the middle school because I kind of wanted to get an idea of what was going on and how they were doing things.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. And that was fun. Yeah. Like, it was fun to be able to get back on the bus and go away for road trips.
But not anymore. It's a beating on you. So. So, yep, not only that, but fast forward a couple of years, you started working in Page. We kind of worked with kids, and that kind of helped you with, a lot of the coaching stuff. So now it's like everything you're saying, everything we do in life now is what we kind of like help with the girls and make sure they're understanding a few of the drills, or what, like if they need help with something else outside of basketball. And that's where we step in as coaches.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. So it's just not just about basketball.
No.
Totally different thing. And, being a coach, that's what we kind of fall under is, we're just not coaches. We actually help. They may come in sad, they may come in bothered, or, they may be angry. Something has to do with something, anything. once they come through the door, and it's tough.
Yeah,
because we have to deal with it too.
It's it's easy to say leave all that at the door when you come in, but when teenagers these days, I don't remember being in that state to where I was so bothered or I was so like depressed or had anxiety to carry it into basketball, and I don't ever remember feeling that way.
But I don't think anybody else was like with our time era. So,
but then like these days, it's hard to tell the girls like leave that at the door. Don't bring it in when you're here. You're focusing on basketball. But when they're still trying to process those feelings and those emotions, it's hard for them to just turn it on and off.
Yeah.
It's like, so now that comes to where, and we are going to talk about this a little further, is
in a few more episodes. So,
it's not going to be like we're not dealing with just skill or conditioning or practice. It falls into the girls dealing with stuff outside of basketball. Are they confident? What works best to approach them when they need to change something, when they make a mistake? Like it feels like we kind of have to learn who our players are and also learn what works for them as far as responding to how we need things to be changed.
So a lot of the times, from what we are like when we coach and we're at practices and stuff, and this is kind of like one of the bases of why we took the upon of being coaches is someone needs help. We go there, we tell them, hey, are you okay? Whether it's again outside of basketball, but if it's in basketball, we have the tools and set and skills for that. But if something's bothering them, they will not perform.
Yeah.
And it's tough because us as coaches, we don't all have to be all about basketball. That's what I'm trying to say is we're not all about basketball.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to deal with life skills. Just a different page is what I'm saying. So it's tough. So I kind of had to learn that the hard way too, because I'm like, oh yeah, it's just basketball. We're gonna learn everything about basketball. Nope. Let's just say I ran into the door and it wouldn't open. So I was like, okay. So I kind of like had to relearn a lot of this other things as well. A lot of it like psychology, like how the girls would respond to certain things, and it's been a great. It's 3 years now, going on our 4th year of coaching, and it's it's great.
It is.
So, but at the same time, it's hard work mentally. It's hard work, and props to all the coaches out there, and keep doing what you're doing. Everyone loves you, and we have the support, and reach out to us if you guys have any questions, and
definitely.
So I think, like you said at the beginning, is this is kind of like you're going to open up a little bit more doors. So
I feel like we also need that support,
right?
And a lot of times we don't get that because we have to know, like, you're the coaches, you shouldn't be feeling this way. Right. You should. I feel like that gets put back on us when we're telling them, like, guys, we're stressing out, we're trying to figure out all of this stuff, and then I kind of find myself stopping and being like, wait, I know some of these parents are gonna be thinking like, well, you're the coach, what you got yourself into.
Right.
You shouldn't be feeling this way. You should be a lot tougher. And so a lot of times it's like I'm stopping and I'm not really going into that.
Right.
And then I think this last year is when I kind of just was like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. I'm letting it, all out.
So, it's going to happen. So whether any type of sport, whether you're a coach or you're a volunteer, it's going to happen no matter what. So, but the thing is, why we are coaches is, we love the game and we want to open it up just a little bit more for, everybody, individuals. And, just let it go from there.
I also feel like when it comes to wanting to be coaches, it's also wanting to build a program.
Yep.
A championship program.
Right.
With the school that you're at is the most rewarding and the biggest goal that I can think of.
So that brings us to the next question: is what would we want to achieve as coaches?
Oh, yeah.
But
definitely.
She kind of skipped to the
I
actual
didn't
answer.
skip. It's called a transition.
It is. But the last question is, what do we want to achieve as coaches? Of course, we always say winning a state championship for the school.
Yeah. Well, and then, like I said, building that championship program.
Right.
Building a program that is consistent, and any coach after me knows that they have the resources, they have the events that we have established, right. And they have a schedule that is strong. I think that's what I really want to do.
Right. So yeah, going back to that, it goes back to where a lot of things come back into place, like our resources, like you're saying. We're building that right now. So this is our first summer with strength training program all summer, which is awesome. We're just trying to help the girls get stronger and make them feel like they're a lot more confident out on the court.
Yeah.
So far, we've seen some very, very big improvements from everybody from over the summer. And, again, the achievement we want is them coming together and then us winning a championship for the school, which is probably the most looked upon as coaches.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely bringing the first state championship title to Whitehorse. Right. Is what everyone is after.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that's I think that's our motivation. Yeah. And we know we have the staff. We know we have the coaches. Right. When it comes to us coaching, it's my opinion, and that's it. Mm-hmm. It's, I think we have built a good solid foundation of bringing in other coaches and also getting their input right. on our practices, right. And on how we're running things.
Yeah, and that's what's pretty awesome about our coaching staff is, if we feel like something's a little different, we're not afraid to say anything. We'll come to you, we'll address it with you, and then we'll talk about it, and then okay, yeah, let's change this up. Yeah. Or let's try something at a different approach, and achieving that too, as well as like not only the team but also us as a coaching staff. You can't have one person running the program and everybody else just hanging around just because they want to. But we try to get involved everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's important because if I'm putting that all on myself,
it's going to be a lot.
Not only that, but every mistake, I wouldn't be able to handle that mentally. Every mistake or every wrong move I make or every wrong decision I make, it's like, I don't think that I could be I couldn't be the person to say it's not my fault. Right. And it just go over my head. I don't think I can handle situations like that. I'm more cautious, and I would rather have other people's opinions and, right. Well, not as far as the community, but my coaching staff. I'd rather have my coaching staff's opinions on what they think is, best. How should we do this? How should we work this in? Do you guys think we could handle this? And I really take all of those into consideration when it comes to making those big decisions. Right. Or not only team decisions, but individual decisions. It's not just me choosing who can go to a certain tournament. Yeah. It's not just me choosing who should be on the team. It's the whole staff collectively. Right. It's so-and-so made a mistake. We're not seeing her improve. And it's not me and you talking. It's everyone.
Right.
We're all coming together and being like, okay, so and so isn't improving. She's not showing us this. What do you think we should do? And it's all of us making that decision together as
Right.
coaching staff.
So, yeah, so building a good coaching staff as well, it takes a lot of the load off of you as a head coach. So, I do take some of those responsibilities sometimes, but but we have our agreements and sometimes we don't. But the one thing we really want to achieve is, again, building that championship team, building that program, and again, like you said, when someone comes in, they have the resources there as well.
Yeah.
So and that's going to be the fun part about this is, within the future, we'll just say, there is a possibility.
Yeah, because championships don't come with 2 or 3 year coaches. It comes with long-term coaching.
Right. Well, and that's where we step in. So
Yeah.
we're going to do this as long as we can. So, and we're going to have fun at it and, enjoy this coaching experience. And, if the opportunity comes, we'll think about it and go from there. So
yeah, it's going to be a good experience. Right. I feel like each year is a different experience.
Oh, yeah. Well, each year will be different. So we just gotta, look forward one day at a time and just wait for the season to start. I'm pretty excited about it too, as well. So I think every year you should be excited.
I think this year we're taking it a little more. I feel like it's taking priority a little more because it's supposed to be summer break, and we're having the girls come in and strength train 4 days out of the week.
And then we had an open gym session.
We've had open gym in June, and we were doing 2 hours of drills, and some of the girls were coming in for that. I feel like we're kind of making this a bigger priority.
Yeah, I think so. So, well, it has been.
Yeah. What I really have enjoyed is being able to go and watch the girls play.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, our first time actually going to a tournament that they played in to go and watch them, because one of our assistant coaches put together a summer league team
or a summer
team, and we're trying to continue to create that chemistry. And we were able to go and watch them out in Mesa.
Yeah,
and
super hot.
It was very different, though. It was a very different experience because you're sitting there, you're trying to just, let them play, just watch the game. And I kind of feel like I do the same thing with Harper.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he'll be playing, baseball, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, I can't ever just sit and not say anything.
I can, but I say it to her. So I'm like, hey, let him play. He's just a kid. I'm just a baby.
But at some point, I think my expectations are a
little
higher than
what he's performing at. But
and it's the same thing with some of the with the team is my expectations are high.
Mm-hmm.
I
think as with every coach's, their expectations are going to be high as well until they, actually come to practice firsthand and see what the team is made of.
Yeah.
And how they react to what you're doing.
But I never give the girls. I don't ever think of them as being low expectation. Well, every player, I see them at high standard, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Is that how you would say it?
Yeah.
I have high expectations for them, and I think that's, beneficial to me is because...
As they should. The girls or any other athlete out there, they should have high expectations for doing the tryout or going to a tryout. So, and, with, kids nowadays, we have to, talk to them about it. Like, hey, you can be better. You can be good. Mm-hmm. And, with Harper, I just look at him like, bro, come on now. Get up there. Just hit the dang ball.
and that the difference between the way you grew up and the way I grew up
is
it shows that difference because like I said, I played consistently every year in rec sports. And then you're here and you didn't start basketball until 7th grade.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like more lenient, like, he'll get there. But then I'm over here like, you need to do this. You need to do this. You're not doing this.
My gosh,
so it's like.
That's going to be another episode. It's going to be probably how to deal with coaching and being a parent at the same time. So that's probably going to be one of the other episodes. But as right now, thank you guys for joining the podcast. And this is going to be the first time experience for us as well. So bear with us.
Yeah.
We might totally talk off subject, but I think it's good. But at the same time, we're learning. And
well, not only that, but it's like some of the other coaches are going to go.
Right.
They're going to, what's the word? It just kind of popped out of my head. Well, maybe the fly will help me think. Hold on. Okay. So, okay, thank you. So, some of the other coaches are going to relate.
Right.
Like, we're going to veer off topic, but it's going to be something they're going to be like, yes, that's,
and that's,
I can
relate.
relate.
That's a good thing. Send it in the chat if you guys want to. But it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to enjoy this. So, we're going to do this until we kind of like get into basketball season. And then we're going to do short episodes here and there, but it won't be very long. But that's for the near future. But this is our first season off the court with Joni and Derick. So, and we're going to enjoy this.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing like other people's views and what other people have to say and their opinions. Right. Like we said, we're not the greatest. We don't claim to be the greatest coaches ever. We don't claim to hold any we don't claim that we have built these players. We know that they work hard, and that's where a lot of people don't understand is I don't like to take credit.
No.
And I definitely don't like to take credit because we're not the ones working hard. Those girls are. And we're not the ones sacrificing 2 hours out of our day in the summer to work out. We're not sacrificing all the stuff they go through with their body and the soreness. Like every day we come in, who's sore, and they're always like hurting. And we try our best to really understand that because we know what it's like.
Right.
Like I worked out with them on Monday and Tuesday. And that's all I could handle.
Yeah.
And so I'm
We're
really
a little older now, so.
But I'm really proud and happy that they're fighting through some of these stuff.
So it's a little bit more intense now than when we were growing up, I think. So, but I'm over here trying to end the podcast, but she ended up talking about something else. But
no, it's not something else. It's something serious that people. I feel like people are going to come here and try to hear us name drop and try to hear us talk about bad situations. But me being me, I'm not. I can't allow that to happen. And not only that, but I'm also having my own back and putting it out there that I don't think I'm the best person. I don't think I'm the greatest person ever. And I don't give myself credit for a lot of things. And people just don't. I just want people to understand that.
Yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. So we'll end the podcast right now, and we are going to be releasing a lot of the podcasts on Wednesdays. So that way we can kind of like go through what's going on for the last of the week and then going into the first of the week. So kind of in the middle of the week. So I think that'll be great because like in the middle of the week, you guys can tune in. But oh my gosh, juicy gossip! We can call one episode gossip. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. And this is Off the Court with Joni and Derick.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.